Hey guys, it's Renee, Rupert's mom. I'm going to continue with some more Rupert stories with random clips of Rupert in everyday life. This time I brought on my friend Anna for her funny interactions with Rupert as a kitten. I did have to split our convo up into 2 parts because it turned out to be way too long. This is part 1 of why I got a cat, how I got Rupert, and Anna's sticker incident.
That's fair.
So,
Really takes
okay.
the fun out of it.
All right. So I wanted to do a brief introduction to people about why you are important to Rupert's life.
Uh-huh.
And the reality is that if I wasn't friends with you, I would not have gotten Rupert.
Never would
And
have. It's true.
no, because okay, so Anna is my friend from college. Let's go with that kind of introduction. We've been friends for a long time. And I wasn't a cat person. I didn't think cats liked me. And I was never going to get a cat until I moved out by myself. And I was like, man, it's kind of lonely, but I'm not home enough for a dog to like consistently take it to the bathroom and all the stuff that's required of a dog. And a cat would be nice, but like cats really don't like me. So I wasn't sure and I was on the fence. And then you were like, hey, I'm going out of town. Could you watch my cat for me? And I was like, yeah, sure. It's probably going to
Yeah.
be fine.
I went home
So,
for Christmas, I think. So I was gone for like 2 weeks.
yeah. So, what was that cat's name? And tell me a little bit about that cat.
She was a rescue. Her name was Ophelia. She was a Siamese, and she had been not like she wasn't a breeder cat. Like she hadn't had multiple litters, but she had had at least one litter. So she was like very like motherly and like wanted to be nice to people and take care. Like she would try to, clean my hands and stuff all the time because I guess she just assumed I couldn't keep myself clean. Um, so she was just a super sweet cat. She was kind of really on the small side. She
Hmm.
was like a very petite little cat, but she was so sweet and she loved people. And she would just like, if you sat down, she'd just climb right into your lap and like purr and cuddle. She was just ideal. Very wonderful little cat.
She was an ideal cat. And then when I had her at my house for those like 2 weeks over Christmas break, I remember she spent the first couple days under the bed, and I was like, huh, that's
Yeah,
maybe,
she was a little timid.
yeah. And
Well,
then,
she had been rescued. That was the thing. There was flooding whenever I got her. So she'd like
mhm,
lost her home somehow.
yeah.
So she was a bit fearful when I first got her too. But once she was comfortable in a house, she was like very friendly.
She was. And then like she just would play with me
Yeah.
and I would just whip toys around and I was like, this is so fun. Like
Yeah.
I get to come home from my work day. I have this super soft, cuddly little creature that just wants me to like whip toys around. Like this is elevating my life is what I thought about your cat. And I was like, I'm going to be a cat person. And I made that decision that I was on the market for a cat. And then like that week that I was cat sitting your cat, Rupert's mom walked into my work pregnant, and my office decided just to let her stay until she had her babies and then like find everybody home. So I was like, oh, perfect. The stars are aligning. This is clearly meant to be like how I'm supposed to get my cat. And so Rupert was born, and with his other little litter mates. I do have little pictures that I'll put up so people can see Rupert like the day after he was born and how freaking adorable he was. And I remember like the moment I decided that he was the cat for me, he had like his brother was in this FedEx box, and Rupert was laying on top of the FedEx box, beating his brother up. Anytime his brother tried to poke him, like whack-a-mole, anytime this little
Maybe
kitten
that
would,
should have been your first clue that this cat was a dick. Oh, can I say dick? Is this a
I don't
family
know.
show?
I don't know. We'll see.
Whatever.
It,
Bleep
but
it
I,
out.
I thought that was so funny, and I was like, "Oh, you're such a cool cat." So I was like, "This is my cat." And then anytime like I would go visit the kittens while I was at work, Rupert would run to the edge of the box and just like want me to pick him up. And I was like, oh yeah, this cat loves me. Finally, a cat has chosen me and he's cool and everything is going to go great from this point on.
Yeah, that's exactly how it played out.
That's how it played out. That's why Rupert has a YouTube channel, because he was just such a nice little cat that everyone got to love on. And I was telling you before, I had gotten books from the library about like being a new cat owner. And all of these books were about like picking the right breed for you, which I mean, Rupert was a street cat, so
Yeah,
it's not
he was.
like I my best guess to this day is a Turkish van. But he's, from the streets. So it's like, I'm like, well, what do I, there are pages and pages of picking the right breed from you. I'm like, I picked the cat that beats up other cats and wants me to pick him up. So that's the right breed for me, I guess. And they're like pages about picking the right name for your cat and then like getting the right cat furniture, like a scratching post and a cat tree and like little toys and a cat brush and like all that basic stuff, and then vaccinations and vet visits, like the most basic concepts of life for having a cat, but nothing in there to prepare you for the emotional train wreck that was Rupert's personality that I was totally unprepared for.
You picked the cat that trapped his brother and smacked him. I don't know why you're surprised about this.
In hindsight, that should have been a pretty big red flag. So, and then he had a lot of quirks as a kitten. So, but I remember him particularly. He hated everybody.
Hated
Um,
everybody.
everybody, but he had a special hate in his heart for you.
I think that has to do. That's definitely related to the sticker incident. Like, I think he would have hated me as much as he hated anyone had I never put a sticker on him. But I also don't feel like I don't like, in fairness, I remember the sticker incident, but I don't remember what led up to it. Was it off an apple or something?
I think it was like a banana or an apple or
Yeah,
some
yeah, it was
piece
like
of
some
fruit.
piece of fruit. But I think he was kind of being a dick anyway. And so I was like, oh, okay, you're going to be a dick to me. Here, I'll put this apple sticker on you. He did not like that.
Do you remember Rupert's reaction?
Yes, he jumped. Have you seen there's a video of a cat out recently and then like the broom falls over and the cat jumps and it like kicks over its litter box and then it knocks over its food because it just keeps like jumping around and startling itself.
Yeah.
He was like a demon. He like ran all around. It was a 1-bedroom apartment, it wasn't huge, but he like ran all around it and bounced off every possible surface. I think he just eventually wore himself out. And then I think he was just happened to be close enough and you just reached over and pulled the sticker. Like, it wasn't a big deal. It was not a big sticker. It was not a painful sticker. Like, it wasn't like some band-aid that got enmeshed in his fur. Like, you reached over and just plucked it off. It wasn't this poor cat. He was traumatized.
Like he did have a special hate in his heart for you every time you came over. Like he would mean mug you and then go under the bed and we wouldn't see him.
I
Like
mean, like, that wasn't terrible.
no, it wasn't
Kind of just gave us a break from his bad attitude.
probably best case scenario.
This is the end of part 1. Check out part 2 for Anna's experience staying the night in Rupert's house. And Anna reacts to some videos and pictures of Rupert's antics. I'm going to cue up Kaylee's outro song.
Rupert cat, Rupert cat. He's there. He's already freaking there. Rupert cat, Rupert cat.